Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Golden Shower Sunday stream. We were off last week, I think, right? Is that the week we didn't come on?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So,
So we're back. It's me, Forest Mommy, here with my co-host Hex.
what up, world?
Today's sorry, I always cut you off, Hex. And today our guest is Crip, and his on Twitter is you're at CRIPPY87 right now, right?
Yeah, it changes a lot.
Yeah, you keep getting banned and stuff too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Quite a bit. Been there a few times.
Well, you're in great company right now. So, real quick before we get going, just want to do some housekeeping. Next Sunday, our guest is CD McRae, who was on last night on Sibling Revelry. Let's see, what's next month's April 2nd. Michael Rufo will be on. April 16th, JJ Boogie will be on. All the other FMU shows, I don't know. That's always like seat of our pants. Little announcement: Forest Mommy is going to be running for city council in her city. So tomorrow I'm going to file for that. Anyone who would like to donate to my campaign will get there because I'm a terrible fundraiser. So I'm hoping my Twitter fam will help me out. And yeah, that's all I got. So yeah, welcome everyone. Crip, how are you?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Nice little Sunday here.
This is a nice little Sunday. Are you in the Eastern time zone too, or Central?
Central.
Okay.
So I'm like in Minnesota, just south of like the St. Paul Twin Cities area.
Oh, okay. Nice. Hey, everyone in all the chats. Hey, Randy. Let's see. Shannon, Joe, Alice. Got everybody here today. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit to people who don't know you on Twitter and stuff?
All right. So I guess I'm 35. I'm getting to be an old man these days. From Minnesota, born, raised, stayed here. The CRIPPY part of my name is because I'm in a wheelchair. When I was 18, I was an idiot and got in an accident with my buddies. It was like a couple weeks after we graduated. We'd always go tubing down like a local river. And when we did that, we'd always get just hammered drunk. We did, being kids and all that, having fun. So one of the days we did it, my buddy apparently rolled his truck like shortly after we left. And I got chucked out of it apparently and hit my back on a telephone pole, which they don't move, I guess. So ended up crushing my spine, broke my ribs, sternum, tibia, fibia, bruised my heart, brain, punctured the liver, kidneys, spleen, lung. It was a good 2006 was a good year. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you lived through it.
Definitely did.
So how long was your recovery?
All right, so like the first 21 days I was in ICU. And I guess the first 7 days, start there. First 7 days I was in a coma. Then ICU for 21. And then it was after the first month I got sent off to a rehab / hospital. So I was there for 2 months and then another 4 months in an actual rehab facility before they got to send me home. So it was a 6 month process pretty much from accident to getting to go home for the first time. It happened June 27th, and the day I got released was December 23rd.
Okay. And did they know you weren't going to walk right away? Did you know right away?
They never will say you can or can't just for liability purposes, but they told me right away your injury, how it is, completely severed my spine. Probabilities are very, very low, but they're not going to say never. They're not going to say, some hope in there for you, at least, or I guess however you want to look at it.
Right. Have you done any wheelchair sports or anything?
No, I've actually looked into it because sled hockey's kind of big here, but I'm 6'5", so getting in and out of the chair.
You're huge.
Yeah.
You're super tall. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it kind of sneaks up on people sitting down most of the time. Yeah, so getting in and out of the chair into the little sleds and all that is not easy, but I'm also not medically cleared because I got 2 rods, 19 pins, and then a metal plate on the interior.
Okay. They're worried you could like damage yourself a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah. So I can't even go like a chiropractor, which is kind of weak, but way it goes.
Damn. So then did your like family take care of you and they
Yeah, I,
surrendered?
yeah. I got really lucky that my family's pretty close for the most part. My mom's side, I should say, and they were my mom right away like started modifying the house the best they could because we had she still lives there split level house, so kind of hard to get in and out.
Stairs everywhere.
Yep. So they had found an elevator from a local church that was renovating and got elevator dirt cheap for like 15,000, which is a lot, but dirt cheap for an elevator. And we're
Right.
able to put that in, so I was able to get in and out of the house for as long as I lived there. And it was about 5 years after I was able to buy my house, which was a little townhome that's a single level, rolling, all that good stuff.
Nice. You should go around have you ever heard the people who go around and like purposely file lawsuits with the ADA? Like
I
they'll like
have seen it. See, like I've all right. So I can kind of said I went to see a comedian last spring, Dan Soder. And when I went there, I showed up at the venue. There was no handicap access whatsoever. They pulled the stairs, like so I could not get in or out whatsoever. And I called the place. I'm like, so what should I do here? Like, oh yeah, like you can't come. Like that was their end result. So I went on Twitter, I bitched, and a lot of people ended up seeing it. I know Soder saw it. And ended up the next day, they let me go in through like a freight elevator just to avoid. I'm just up there, just to avoid like any lawsuits or trouble. And then after that, they're like, "Yeah, you can't come for the next 2 months," which I don't feel like that's legal, but
yeah, that's what those people who go around that they just find some small little thing and they're like, this is
mm-hmm.
ADA, not ADA compliant, and then they just sue.
It's like I probably have something or some merit, but also I'm not that person. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know you're not.
Just that drove me nuts though. It's like it was the first time I ever showed up. Someone like, yeah, you could just go home. Like thanks,
Damn.
nice heads up.
Did anyone pass away in the accident?
Nope, it was a single car accident. Could have brought this up. And it was me and my best friend at the time. And I guess the way it worked out is the accident happened. I obviously flew out and was in my situation. He didn't have a license at the time because he had a DWI prior. So he told the cops there that I was the driver. So they never checked his blood alcohol or anything because they're kind of worried about me dying in that situation. So, like I said, I'm 6'5". He was probably like 5'8", and we had shared what we drank the same day. After 2 hours and 4 units of blood, my blood alcohol was a 0.18. So I can only imagine what he was at.
Right.
It's,
Thank you, Cal. Thank you, Cal. So like did you have plans at 18 or were you kind of like just fucking around at that point anyways?
I was more fucking around at that point. I probably wouldn't have done a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Like just to start, I shouldn't say that. I know I didn't have like great aspirations at 18, but who's to say, what you're gonna do at 22, 25, whatever.
Right.
But at that point, I know I was not gonna say a fuck up, but I had my fun, so I wasn't on like the straightest of paths, I guess you want to say.
You didn't lose a scholarship or something like that?
No,
Or
no.
okay.
I lost my grad party because it was this next Saturday after. So,
Oh, damn it!
yeah, it was a little bit of cash I missed out on.
That's what graduation parties were good for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You have been working or?
All right. So I went to school for a while. I got a 2-year degree, nothing major, and was working in an office situation until 2015, 2016, when my cousin started having kids. And he's like, he offered me more money than what I was making working there just to nanny.
Nice.
So I've been doing that since, like I said, 2015. But his kids now are getting to the point where I'm actually going to have to go back and do a real job again. So
You should just make a nanny business, like Crip
I've thought of
Nanny or
that. Yeah,
something.
it's like, well, I'm pretty good with kids, and I don't know. I'm patient, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and you look out for them, like you've told me before, the weirdos you found on Facebook and shit. Like,
Yeah, that was that's actually how I first started talking to you. Was I used to have a roommate who was a hockey coach, and it's kind of a tight knit community when they have them. And there was always rumors about this coach who was kind of a, not to say a creep, but just kind of always suspect whenever he was around, like the girls that he coached, because he's coached mainly U15. And this guy, apparently, he had past transgressions. I didn't find out until after the fact, but he, one of the things he did was he Snapchatted this girl and asked her, if I was your age, would you date me? Like stuff like that. Like that's like I don't know. To me, I think it's a weird question to ask like a 14-year-old girl.
You
And
really?
and his mind. He goes, well, it's because I have a boy that's the same age and he's like me, so I wanted to see if they could date. That was his rebuttal to that. And I know the same girl. We went on vacation with their family because, like you said, he's got a boy that's a similar age. He wasn't going on the trip. Found out she was going and instantly changed his plans. Decided, he's going to go on this vacation with them. And but so there's like a lot of like little things that kept adding up. So I found out he was running for director of like the hockey program for the women's side. And I sent like an email saying like, maybe look into this or whatever. Nothing was done. So I was like, all right. Made a Facebook post, and within 15 minutes, I got a call from the then director, who's, complaining that this is not the route to go about it, whatever. I'm like, well, you guys did nothing. So,
Yeah, what else are you supposed to do at that point?
yeah. So it's like, I'm going to do something, which they didn't like that because it became an actual issue. And like, police got involved at that point because they have to. And they found out that he had a lot of random transgressions that you shouldn't be having with a minor, and was kicked out of the association for like 2 to 4 years, something like that. I was like, if there's enough to kick you out of the association, like I don't know, you're doing some weird stuff, in my opinion.
well, just fucking don't. Like, just
Yeah.
don't Snapchat younger. Like, it's just so easy. Like, thank you for bringing it up, because it's the people like that who start doing the little things that then it builds and it builds, and they get away with it, and it'll build and it'll build. And like, I think people like us, where we're obviously not going to sue on it, like, and you don't want to always make like a accusation,
Yep.
but then like you kind of have to sometimes in some instances, right? Like you have to.
So
So
that's my thing. Yeah. Same thought process. Like, too many people sit there, like my friends at the time, like they knew what was going on. They just didn't want to say anything because, well, what happens if you're wrong? Which I do get. You don't want to make false accusations. But on the other hand, it's if you just say nothing, like who's looking out for the
that's
kid
how
in the end?
that's why we are where we are. Is all these people said nothing. Like I've said a million times, you guys, you've seen. It was probably a post when you responded to me where I was talking about like how family will half the time say nothing. Like me and Alice talk about all the time. Like so many people don't say something with kids and adults, like even in their families, and then like I think that's why we're at this crazy point now, because so many people didn't say anything, and now that's why like some of these drag people are like, no, it's normal to do this around kids, because it was kind of normal in their life and no one said anything, and it's just like cyclical. So the more like people can speak up, and it's funny you like the thing you did, and I've had some people contact me. I'm working on a little case for somebody else where like same kind of shit. Some guy's been running for like school board, or his wife's on school board, but he's been like texting girls and doing all this weird shit too. So, but the person who contacted me is kind of connected.
Yep.
So we're kind of like working behind the scenes. We're going to try and do a little like expose, but you also got to make sure it's legit, right? We got to like not
Yeah.
falsely accuse anybody. And I guess it's funny. This person said, the school board that the wife is on, they don't like, most school boards, you have like a public comment thing, and they like never will do the public comment and stuff. They like never, which I told them to send me I want to look at their bylaws and stuff and see if that's even legal. But it's like she almost knows some people are going to bring it up, so she never allows for this public comment time. So I'm like, that's like
shady.
It's a little shady. What up, Andy? I know. So it's like, so we're looking up. Hey, First Shot. Hey, everybody in chat. And thanks again, Cal, for the super chat. Cal's awesome. He gave us another super chat the other night. Everyone needs to go follow him. And he actually made me a little flyer for my business, which was super sweet too. He's awesome.
Shout out to Cal.
What up, Cal? Yeah, because hockey's a big deal in Minnesota. That's what you fucking do out there.
It is. I'm actually watching it on the side right now. Going on.
I love it. Yeah. So in anything like that, it's gonna attract people who do that. And I think some people, especially a little bit, like I'll say men, I'm not being sexist. I know there's plenty of women abusers out there, but in this case, like, especially with like coaches, I've known people who were in swimming and like all of a sudden they were swimming in high school and then all of a sudden they married the coach at 18. It happens in churches. It happens everywhere. Like that shit just kind of, hey, big hands. It kind of just, there's something in these people. It happens in the libertarian community, like it happens everywhere. Like it's just this weird,
the like, teaching community a lot, it seems like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Like, I don't even think half the time these guys are predators starting out, but I think there's just this opportunity. Exactly. These girls, and some girls are they look old when they're still young and shit like that. And it's obviously the biological aspect and all this shit, but we all know better. Fucking do it, right?
Yeah.
There's no fucking Snapchat teenage girls if you're a grown ass man. Like, I don't know why this is so difficult.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is too is he used Snapchat because he thought the messages disappear. He didn't realize that they could still pull back.
Yeah.
As far as they want to go.
Alice, we're always because the people on the far right say, oh, the pedos are only the dread, and I'm like, no, we always say the pedos are fucking everywhere, and like everyone gets mad at you for saying that, and it's like, no, they are fucking everywhere. That's the problem. The more you tribalize it, the stronger it gets, and that's why we are where we're at. Like it's
like people are like, well, how do you know he is, or why are you gonna say? It's like, I've never seen a pedo who's like on his front lawn, or like, I'm a pedo. Hey, look at me. It's like they're obviously they hide it. It's like they're trying to keep it under wraps.
And they groom everyone. Like if it's a family thing, like I don't know if you ever saw that video. It was a Kidnapped in Plain Sight or something. It was that weirdo Mormon family where like this dude befriended the mom and dad, and then ended up taking the daughter on a trip and like was raping her and stuff. But then he got the dad to give him a blowjob and shit. Like it just kept like
what the fuck?
Yeah,
I forgot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's like, oh yeah, he said he needed a release.
Yeah, like he groomed he fucking had the whole family eating out of his hand. Like these people they know what they're doing. They always go, manipulative abusers do this anyways. Well, not even like pedophiles. Like people on fucking Twitter are like, they'll be assholes, but then I see them come in my DMs and try to, like people are just manipulative and they know what they're doing. So it's difficult. Yeah, Randy, they are demons. It is. That's I'm fairly atheist. I love everybody who believes, nothing against it. But like to me, the demon is like pedophilia. That's a demon to me because it spreads. And it's the one thing like people know you don't fuck that up in a human. You do not fuck that up in a human. You let that organically develop. You do not, as an adult, fuck that up, right? Like, but people do it. And the more power they get, the worse they get. They do it more, like it really is a demon to me. That's how I see it.
I also hate, I know laws are different everywhere, but in Minnesota here, I do know that in my mind, they're far too lenient. So like the Super Bowl was here, I think in 2018. And when it was here, they had a big sting on prostitution and underage sex trafficking. And I happen to know a guy, I graduated with him, who allegedly, or not allegedly, he did attempt to get a prostitute, which told him that she was 15 or 14 in their text exchange or whatever he got her off of. And he said, yeah, that's fine, whatever. And he went to meet her. And he ended up, obviously, he got busted, all this and that. He only got probation for attempting to meet like a 14 or 15-year-old girl for sex. It's like I don't see how that's not right in my opinion. I don't know.
Was he on the sex offender list then? Do you know, or
He might be now. I'm not even sure.
was it a sting, or was he just got caught?
Yes, sting.
Okay.
It was a big because of the Super Bowl is here. A lot of fun.
Yeah, any big event that's always sex. Like we have a big, huge rodeo here every winter, and it's like the most sex trafficking ever. Like it's just every bit, and that's all like conservative agriculture people, and it's still a big deal, you know. Like it's humans.
That's like I just don't get how you could try to have sex with a child in my mind. It's just like slap on the wrist. Like here's a year probation, and you can't use firearms.
Yeah, there's people in jail for like pot longer than people who like attack children. Like,
yep.
Anyways, we're talking about something happier. That's cool that you nanny. You're getting to. I love when families can like watch each other and be involved in each other's lives. So that's really cool. You get to do that for your cousin.
And it's kind of. I was raised similar. Like my grandma did everything for. Like I guess my cousin and him like grew up with each other because my grandma watched everyone in the family. So I kind of just do it with his kids, and I got buddies who will, school's off this day. Can you watch whatever? So yeah, go for it.
Why not?
Yeah. What's another kid? You got 3 running around.
Yeah, it's all good. I was gonna say this is totally unrelated, but the other day when you took a picture in the snow, and then you said, and I was like, "Don't get stuck," and you're like, "I have got stuck."
Yeah. Yeah, I got. So there's 2 different stories. One of them. So I'm in a power wheelchair now, but when I first got injured, I was in like the manual roll yourself, and had to been like 21, 22. I left the house at like 10:30, 11 o'clock to go get high with my buddy. So I come back home and it's midnight, whatever, and apparently there's freezing rain. So I get out of my van and I try. There was like a slight hill from the garage to the house, and as I try rolling up the hill, like my tires are just spinning. Like I can't move. My cell phone's in the house, so I can't call anyone.
Oh no!
So it's midnight, freezing rain, stuck outside. I had to pull the fence line to get into the house. Like I just got close up to the fence. I just literally just pulled the entire way to the point that I was able to reach the garage. Pulled myself in there. I was like, all right, bring your phone with you. But this summer, last winter, I'm in a power chair now, and was shoveling the driveway, and apparently caught a patch of ice and just sat there spinning. And I was able to go back down and just get speed to come back up, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
That's terrible. I laughed, but when you said that, I was like, oh my God, I was just laughing. So
oh no, I laugh. Like if you can't laugh at, I don't know, what can you laugh at?
Yeah, I love your attitude. You make the best jokes. It cracks me up.
I try to. It's like life's too short. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you like face death, it really changes you. You're probably yeah. Every day, even if you can't walk, it's like damn. Every day is great.
Like we all have our shit days too, but it's like try to get over them.
Yeah. Do you did you follow any of like the other Crip comics or anything, that Donovan guy and stuff?
Yeah, I follow young Crip. He's got some jokes that just make me laugh my ass off. Like he's too quick with some of the stuff he drops.
And he's so good on Twitter too. Like he's so good on Twitter, the way he'll come back at people.
Yeah. It's like especially with like people there was a Taylor Lorenz, I think her name is.
Yeah.
Who was like, watch out for me, I'm disabled, this and that. He's like, you're disabled. Okay. Good to know that you are. Like people like me, are dealing with shit. She's like, you can't attack me because I might be sad today.
People are so ridiculous. I mean, everyone says everyone's like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and blah blah blah. And it's just like, shut up. Like it's just like there are real problems out there. I'm sorry that the problems people say they have nowadays is like, I made a post about this the other day. Like they want to be traumatized. That's why like all this stupid like, call me this pronoun. If you don't, I'm traumatized. It's just like, shut the fuck up.
My thing with that dude that drives me nuts is like, for like, call me the right pronoun, whatever, respect me. It's like, well, where's my respect? Like maybe I find, you know, I can't look at some people like I can't call you a miss. Like if you got an Adam's apple and you need to shave, like I just can't do it. Like,
Right.
I will do my best to make anyone feel comfortable, but there's also times like I can't just sacrifice my own beliefs to make someone else happy because then in turn I'm no longer happy. It's like there's a give and take.
Yeah,
And
it's like there gets a point where you go, I'm not playing into this person's whatever or this or whatever. It's like I'm not playing your game anymore. You call me whatever you like.
It's like there's only so much you can do, right? You know?
Yeah, I remember even before COVID and all this, I had a huge transsexual group friends. They're mostly older men. Some were just cross dressers. Some were going further, blah, blah, blah. But like, even they would talk shit on each other if like that person wasn't passing. Like, cause some of them didn't even fucking try, you know, like it's like they just put a dress on and they liked it. It's like, even they in their own community are like, you have to fucking try.
Yeah, it was like, I'm not going to like go on my way to attack the person, but I'm also not going to like, hello, Karen, or whatever, you know, from your name's Daryl.
They're so authoritarian about it. That's the whole thing about this whole pronoun shit. It's all like, it's so authoritarian. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why are you telling me I have to say anything? Like, it just makes no sense.
You're a bigot if you don't.
Yeah. Well, we're all racist bigots, basically.
Someone's gotta be.
I'm like, I'm really good at it. So I was laughing because my friend, I've been talking with my sober friend, like it's definitely a little more liberal and stuff, but I'm like, oh God, I cannot wait. Cause he said something about like, he used to live in Atlanta and he was like, yeah, they made it really hard for black people to vote. And I'm like, oh yeah, because black people aren't smart enough to know how to vote, right? And he kind of didn't like, you know, he's not used to that kind of talk.
Didn't catch a joke.
Yeah, and then so that I'm like, do you know what, the soft bigotry of low expectation, and like I'm so excited to red pill him. Like I'm just like, it's gonna be great. He'll be there. And are you pretty anti-government? I mean, you probably you've been through the government, I'm sure, with disability stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of it I cannot stand. Like I feel like a lot of the government, especially for someone like me, like they try to keep you in a money trap if they can. Like they don't want you to elevate.
Right.
Like if they could keep you needing their support in any way possible, they want that. But they also want to give you support, so like pretend that we're doing something good here. So it's like I agree with the government to a limited extent, but it's too far overreach to me at this point.
Right.
Like there's some good in it. Like I believe that we need policing of some sorts, but at the same time, like go a little overboard in a lot of it. I should say a lot overboard.
For like situations like you or like people who like need fucking help sometimes, it's like, why can't we? That's what it should be for, not for telling us how to build our house and shit. Like, or like, you know, the random little codes and all the stupid stuff. Like, I don't know. And obviously you follow me, so you're probably a little bit like, yeah, fuck the government.
Look, it's like, yeah. For me, a lot of it's like the medical industry too is like hand in hand with the government. And they also just like to fuck you in any way possible. So that's where a lot of my headaches come from, is more like the ADA, insurance, all that fun stuff.
Well, so you've been dealing with it for almost 20 years now, huh?
Yeah, damn near. It's creeping up on 20. Goes fast.
I know, I'm going to be fucking 39, bro. Like, I'm old. I'm getting old. Has working through like the disability system been a nightmare? Has it been more bad on the healthcare side?
Both have been a joke. So I was on Social Security for a while, and when I was on that, I was also working. There was like, if you make, I think it was $2,000 or more, you no longer qualify for Social Security or disability at that point. And if you make over it or under it, then you can still have it. You can get your disability, your insurance, all that. So at the point, or at that point, I was on it for like 2 or 3 years while I was working because I'd made under the threshold, and they ended up auditing me. And like, 4 or 5 years after the fact, saying that I made too much money potentially, and I'd have to back pay all of the. So it ended up being like it was like 25,000 or something that I would have had to back pay, but I had to prove that I didn't make more money than what they wanted me to. I had to show like driving records of where I lived, and I was like, I don't know. It was a ton for.
I can't believe they
such a little
audited
thing.
someone. Like that's so ableist of them to audit you, isn't it?
I know.
Like,
I should get a free pass everywhere, right?
are
But
do they audit a lot of disability people? Are they pretty hardcore on it?
I don't know. Like, I guess I don't know many other people like in my situation, but I thought it's kind of fucked up. It's like, all right, well, prove that you didn't do this or that, or pay back 25,000. It's like, well, that's a heavy stress burden when I was going to get this thing. Like, hey, you might owe 25,000. It's like, oh, fuck me. All right.
I'd be like, come look at me, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, fuck up. Hey, Chris in the chat. Oh my God. Yeah, would be. I know my business partner's daughters had debilitating Crohn's her whole life, and like so in and out of the house, and just like what he has to deal with, and it's just a nightmare. The hospitals and shit. Like, I can't even imagine.
I've gotten good at like I know a lot of the dumb games they try to play while you're in the hospital. So there's been times like, we're not gonna discharge you until Friday. We just want to see how it's going. It's like, I'm leaving now. Like it's Wednesday. Like I don't need to sit here for 2 more days to stack up more bills. Just like if something happens, I'll come back to the ER. Like I'd rather go home, monitor myself there than sit in an uncomfortable bed, pay like $1,000 a day for nothing. I don't know.
Right. Well, they just want the money at that point, especially if they can get it through like disability or whatever. Like it's scary.
Yeah.
Like we all know that's how it is. Or Medicare, I guess. Are you on
Yep.
Medicare?
Yeah, I get because
Just bill Medicare. We don't care. You just sit here and we'll just keep billing it. Oh yeah, I bet they do that all the fucking time.
I shouldn't complain either. But I got a wheelchair 2 years ago, and to get that, it was like a 2-month process of I had to go to a specialist to tell them I did need it. It's like I don't get why I need it once a year. Jumping back, once a year I have to prove I'm disabled. Like it's not changing. Like there should be some sort of like this guy's nothing's gonna change here, but instead they got to send a nurse out to my house once a year to make sure that I'm not running around. It's like I don't know. To me, that's got to be. There's more than me. They're just checking on like how much money's wasted looking over people who could just put a stamp on my file, being like,
That's why I'm like surprised they audited you, because I know like people say they can say they have fibromyalgia and they're disabled, and that's like an invisible thing. Like it's like that's crazy that. Ugh.
But yeah, like getting in a wheelchair is like a 2-month process. I had to get approved, this, that, whatever, and I don't know. It's worth it in the end to get the chair, but it's also the amount of visits and everything prior to it. It's like it's just a racket.
You did look great. What was I gonna say about that? Oh yeah, and didn't you need like a new seat for it or a cushion or something?
All right, yeah. So I had to buy that myself because I'm only allowed one cushion every 5 years per insurance. And it's like I sit every day, so like it breaks down more than once every 5 years. So I'd got a medical issue because of it, and I was like, I called my girl, so can I replace this? Do you replace it? I'm like, no, you got like 3 years until you can do it. So we will replace it if you come in and do, like I said, all the hoops to prove that it is the chair, that it is the cushion that's going faulty. And I was like, I'll just pay that $150 and buy a replacement rather than waste all this time and effort. It's just easier in the end.
That's insanity. Oh my God.
And all that bureaucracy and all those people, all the money getting wasted in that and all that time and shit, like all the back and forth. It's like we could have spent that money just fucking giving it to him.
Yeah, it's like I need 3 doctor's visits for a $150 cushion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Just buy it.
That's crazy. let's see. Are you pretty? Oh, like nanny? Are you pretty involved in the community otherwise with the hockey
Uh,
stuff?
yes and no. Like I don't do a lot. I'm more pester on like city council junk. Lately, it's nothing major, but we're putting in roundabouts everywhere that drive me nuts. So that's been my thing because they're putting in compact roundabouts, they call them. We have a lot
Just
of
like the real little ones, kind
yeah,
of.
we
Yeah.
got a lot of truck driver traffic through here. So like the one area that put the compact roundabout, if they're taking a turn, you have to stop and back up so they can make the turn. It's like I don't think that that's the best route, but
And they
apparently
spend the money.
that's what we're doing, I guess. So
Yeah, you would be great just for like going to city council and just like using your situation.
yeah,
That's what we did. Like when we went after one bill out here, they were trying to pass, which was going to make it harder for third parties to get on the ballot, basically. And so we had in the Libertarian Party, we had like a Mexican guy, so he spoke in Spanish, and like and then there's a gal out here, she's sweet, and she got in a really bad car wreck once and lost. She has only one eye, and so she is technically disabled and stuff. So she went from that route, and like I was like, this would be bad for the disabled community, and like all this and that. It was great, like. I'm like, at this point, that's what the left does. So fucking use that shit
so
too, to be like, make
just
them.
any flaw you have, just accentuate it,
Thank
make
you
it
for
just
the
10 times
chat.
worse.
Yeah, just like use their games against them. Like,
Use the tools of your enemy to defeat them.
that's why that's why I feel like I have to run and stuff. Like, we just have to infiltrate like they did and just do it as little and locally as I can. Cause I said I wanted to do it. And then, yeah, thanks, Paul, for the super chat. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then the guy on campaigns out here is like, there's no one else doing it yet. And then I was like, I don't have kids. I don't have to work a lot if I don't want to. Like, I have no excuse to not do it. You know what I mean? And I look like the bitches out here because I live in this house is in the suburbs area where I would run. So I'm like, I look like them, so like I can get them on my side. Right. So it's like, I have to. And then there's 4 districts total and an at-large, and there's 2 seats up my district, and then the other district there's another libertarian running. So I'm like, it would be cool if we might as well run together and do things together. And then like if we both got on, that would be so hilarious. It would be half of the it'd be basically half of the seats. And so we just like anything that comes across, just be like, if it gives the government more power, we're just like, nope, not doing it. Like it's like I don't know. We'll see what happens. As long as no one finds my Twitter, we're good. And then
That should be fine.
I know I'm like, I don't think I'm not online. My name isn't. I don't have my real. I've doxed my name plenty of times and stuff, but like I don't have Facebook and all that stuff. So not really an easy way to find me. But I'm like, whatever. If it happens, it happens. And I have friends I've made in the GOP out here that I've met in person. And then like, I'm like, oh, you can follow me on Twitter. She's like, girl, I've been following you forever. And I was like, ah. And so I was like,
Thank you.
yes. As if I'm like, oh, and you don't hate my guts. Okay, cool. So, I like it. So I think we can get the GOP in the area, which I'm not GOP, but like we have a lot of common things like don't fuck with the kids, stuff like that.
Similar ideologies.
Yeah, like I'm definitely, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing I don't live conservatively, but I'm definitely conservative. Like if I had kids, I would want a mom and a dad, and like I was secure. You know what I mean? Like just shit like that. That makes me alt-right racist and shit now. But like and I have that attitude. That's my libertarian attitude though too, where I'm like, I don't live like that and I won't make you live like that, but I'm gonna have that idea in my head that like, there's things you should do in life. Maybe, I'm pro-choice, but maybe we should kind of avoid abortion and not like treat it like it's no big fucking deal. Like, things like that. But so I think I can get the GOP on my side out here too, and then have them not run someone else, and it would be just me. There's no one else signed up yet in my district, so tomorrow I have to go file, and I'll be the first person. So I think I might be able to get some votes just by being the first person on the thing. So who knows? We're seeing. That's like the Mises Caucus goal right now is just take over local elections. Why not? Because we want a mayor out here in Colorado. We got a mayor of a little town out here, and he's already kicking ass. Like he's taken out, there was a restriction where you couldn't sell eggs, so they got rid of that. there was like a COVID emergency still, got rid of that. And then they're hiring a town manager, and they're basically saying, we want someone who's never worked in government before to be the town manager. Like stuff, like he's doing stuff like that. So I'm like, that's what we're trying to do. I don't know.
See, things like that are crazy. You can't sell eggs.
Like who, and that someone had to go out of their way to put that ordinance into place, bring it to the board, have it voted on at some point. Like why? Like who would do that?
There's probably some guy who's selling eggs. Like, yeah, I want to be the only guy selling eggs.
That's
you
exactly
can't sell eggs.
That's exactly what it was. Oh, A-dubs, that's funny. Has someone tried speaking as a representative of the disabled community known as gingers? Oh, I loved your picture on St. Patrick's Day. Heck,
that actually was funny. I seen that.
Did you see that? Yeah. Hex is great. He gave me his black card, so he's not black anymore. And Biden said he's not black anymore either. So
I got adopted by the Irish when that happened.
Yeah. Got the Blake Griffin effect going.
Did you see someone asked if you were Sean White or what? Sean King.
I did see that.
What were all those names you were calling him? That was so funny.
Oh my god, there's a bunch. Malcolm X, Martin Luther Cream off the bar, Black Panther, Ghost Malone. There's a lot of different ones.
That guy's a character.
Oh, Randy saying Hex is actually locked up in my shed, and I throw nickels at you to play your guitar. That's right. That's right. I just guys, this sounds so racist, but I don't mean it racist. But you know how they had the like little monkeys that would dance with the like sound
tambourine.
Dance monkey. I'm not making a reference between black people and monkeys, okay, people? Like, or maybe I am. I don't know. Just kidding. Let's see. What else is going on in your life, Crip?
Not a lot. Like, it's starting to be nice outside again, so I can actually do stuff. So it's a big plus.
Yeah.
Sick of being cooped up in the house.
You go for like little drives around the neighborhood and stuff.
Yeah. So I got a park right by us. So I can take the kids too. So.
And it's like it's real winter where you're at. You get real winter.
Dude, our winters are weird though, because like it's just cold as fuck until like usually like January or so, and that's when our snow starts. Usually, like we usually get like some snow prior. Like once the spring hits, we just get fucking pounded. Like we were supposed to get 10 inches again this week that turned into a rainstorm. But it's usually not, I should say, like end of April is like when I expect snow to be done. So I'm not out of it yet, but we're getting there.
I'm glad Cal's laughing. I was laughing the other day. Cal gave us a big super chat too after A-dubs was being so racist in the comments because Cal's black. I'm like, oh Lord, love it. I love that Forest Mommies. The bubble Forest Mommies like attracts is great. I love it. I didn't know that. That's funny, Adam. I didn't see that.
I say, when you sign up out there, do you need to get signatures, or is it just
Yes, I have. So once I'm signed up, I got to start a bank account with the Secretary of State. But it's my signatures. We only get them in August for like 3 weeks in August. We have to get, and I only need to get like 25. But there's only a 3-week period I can do it in August. It's weird.
So 25 isn't bad. I know there's like, depending on your city size, some are like 2,000, and then they'll go through them and be like, this person doesn't count. This person doesn't count. Yeah,
they have to go through all the signatures. Yeah, the major parties have to have a lot more. So that's what that lady was trying to do, is make it harder for, like, we would have to get more signatures. We'd have had to get 1,500 signatures. And then with the third parties, you can what's the word? When you want someone to run for your party, like vote, we can vote them in at our convention rather than doing like primaries and stuff like that. So it's just like she was gonna make it hard, but no, I think we're gonna do it. I'm like, whatever. Like, I need to do it, and I need to start going out to the bars. I'm just gonna go to the local bars and start talking to people and shit like that. So, but yeah, it's in August, 3 weeks in August. I have to get the signatures, but I'm gonna be doing door knocking and stuff before then, and doing all that shit. So have an event. I think we'll be good. There might even be enough actual registered libertarians in the area where they can do like we can have a meeting and do the signatures and stuff too. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. Have you thought about doing anything like that? Like,
kind of, because when you're brought up, it's like you got nothing. You didn't say you said nothing, but you got the time. And it's like, I know I got time. It's like I've thought about it, like, might as well just do something. But I'm also not I hate telling other people what to do.
yeah,
So
that's the
also,
thing.
it's like
I was on a different board for a long time for a land trust, and I had started feeling a little off. It's totally fine because private owners do it or it's county shit. But like at the end of the day, if someone buys a property on with one of them and doesn't follow the covenant of the conservation easement, technically you could call cops on them, or like it can end at the end of a police officer's gun. And I remember back then I was thinking I want to start doing more politics, but then I was like, oh, it's too authoritarian. I don't want to do it. So then now I'm like, but I have like a different mindset now, especially over the last 3 years and shit that this town has done. So it's like, I think I can do with it. And I'm not looking for like a long-term politics goal, like I just want to do this and see if we can do it. And
see if you can make it somewhat of a difference. And if it's not crazy, keep going.
Yeah. And just the messaging and just in general, because I feel like I can get across to the left and right that like the government sucks. Like, and that's like what I want to get across. It's all about the message. Like if with Dave Smith running or whatever, like we know he's not going to win for president, but we want him out there spreading the message, right?
At least get the idea.
Yeah, just to get, because he can talk to people and people listen to him, and he's like, Dave Smith was like the kid you went to high school with, like everyone can hear him. So it's like it's all about the messaging. So if I can just get the message out, I feel like
I would say if you get the message out, you might get one person who goes, "Fuck it, I'll run for my local government," or just the ball rolling, whatever.
Yeah, because I get a lot of messages where people say I inspire them to do shit. So I'm like, I gotta keep doing inspiring shit, I guess. Keep at it. That would be good. I bet you could clean up if you ran for anything, because you could just use your
I'm here for disabled, elderly. Boom. You already get a nice little base with that.
Yeah, I would
more handicap spots.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna definitely try and look as hot as I can every time I do something. Just like, why not? It's what I do. Oh yeah, I haven't watched probably in months. I gotta catch up. But Heist talked about our mayor out here too, Aaron Lamb. So I don't know. It's just kind of like, why not try? Like I've said many times, everybody knows my feelings on this. Does the political process work? No. Will it work? Probably not. But I have to throw the time towards it, and I might as well fucking try and do the thing, especially locally, right? Like,
play their game, see if it works.
That's what matters.
Yeah. Everyone's been so focused on the federal shit, and that's how they took over local stuff so easy, is because just people don't pay attention to your local stuff. And you're like, whatever, when the ballots come, you're like, oh, okay, whatever, for even like the local, but it's easier to get to know the local people. Like people are going to be able to get to know me. So what up, Wonder Bucket? What are well, Minneapolis, I know, is fairly liberal, and St. Paul is pretty liberal, right?
Yeah. It's like the closer you are to the cities, more liberal, but then I guess we're big ass states, so the further out you get, it's more the farmland. And
right.
Like I'm right on the edge of suburb and farm territory, so my town's a good mix. I think right now I believe we're Republican. I'm not positive.
Right. We have my parents have a place in Wisconsin. It's like 4 hours from Minneapolis, and there's a lady who has a cabin there as well, and she total Democrat all her life. She's older and retired now, but lived in hers places in Minneapolis. And then guess what? Once all the shit started popping off, all of a sudden she was like, and they're defunding the police in Minneapolis and stuff like that too. Like
they think they tried, but I want to say they've already went back on that. They're like, we need these guys.
Marcus is just a play on words. It's nothing sexual. Yeah, and now she's like, and she was like the older lady, diehard Democrat all her life, but she's like, I have to sell my condo. I have to get the fuck out of there and stuff. Like, like, yeah, like the cities are fucking trash, man.
Yeah. So during the day you're fine, but I'm not gonna roll around up there if I have to at night.
Yeah. And
It
then
is.
for a while I was following like the Minneapolis like crime spotters, you know,
Yeah.
like, God damn. I mean, shit happens everywhere. It's bad here too, but like there was one story. I remember a guy like cut a lady's head off like on the sidewalk or something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God.
I
Good
remember
Lord.
that one. That was you driving with her head out the window or whatever.
Oof. There's some crazy ass people out there.
For real.
Well, out in the world, not just out like by you. All right. Well, we're coming up on an hour. Anything else anyone want to talk about? Hex?
I did kind of want to ask, like, how did you kind of end up in the, I guess, Liberty sphere? But I think you kind of touched on that when you were talking about how much of a racket the, I guess,
Yeah.
like,
It's more
and disability shit is. So
yeah. To me, it's more of like they overreach. They try to, while helping, they try to like force you to stay within their grasp, and it's like I don't think that's right. I think if you need help, you should be able to get it without 1,000 steps or
right. You kind of do that, from what I understand, with like the welfare shit. Like you get on welfare, second you get a job, they take you off, and then there's a lot of other things they do that's fucked with that. And
that's what I said. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's your whole situation kind of reminded me of that, and that's why the fucking government sucks, really.
Yeah, like the welfare to me is kind of like I was saying with the money trap, where let's say you're getting $1,500 a month, right? And if you make 2,000, you lose that 1,500. So where's the incentive to work? Like, so if you were to get the extra 500, do you lose like the other benefit you get? Or if you say you make 1,600, like why would you work for the extra $100 if you can get the 1,500 for free? It's like there's no incentive to get people out of their situation unless they can make a big jump out of their situation.
Right.
It's like shit like that. It's like I don't get. Or with the disability, or with the $1,500. So say you make the 1,600, you'd also lose your insurance with that. So it's like then you also have to cover the insurance costs and the money you're losing. So also you're making negative what you were making before. So again, it's like why work if the benefit's not there? That's the shit that drives me nuts. It's like why, if you're trying to help a person, let them actually get the help rather than forcing them to stay in a trap so that they can get their help.
Right.
Exactly, Cal. And it's just like when a girl gets dependent on a husband. It's like, but like we always say, just fucking go do that. But people, when you have an actual disability, it's just, ooh, nice, Shannon. She's going out. Oh, because I think her child's got disability. Shannon, you gotta come on and talk about that. Then that'll be awesome. It is they know the game. I mean, just even with COVID, when they were making people not work and then they gave everyone money, they knew what the fuck they were doing,
Mm-hmm.
And then like people were able to stay. They kept extending the unemployment. It just kept going and going. What are you gonna do?
It is wild too. It's like they don't tell, or there are like services out there for people. Shannon should look into this where they're not readily or easy to access or know that they're available even to you. Like there was a caddy system I found out in Minnesota after the fact where the elevator we put in, we could have said, I'm no longer able to get in my house. Will you help pay a portion of this so you can? And apparently they'll cover a lot of stuff in that situation. And it's not readily available. Most people don't even know about it. I found out through a third party saying you should look into this caddy waiver. And it's like, I never would have knew about that unless somebody in my situation hadn't told me.
Right. Yeah, they keep a lot of the like really helpful stuff actually kind of hard to like, they don't make it. No. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fucking government. Well, good, Shannon. I like it. They messed with the wrong bitch. Oh, sorry, Paul. Sorry, producer. I'm sorry. Love it. All right. Well, that's a pretty good show there. Hex, you want to give any plugs?
Regulars, you know what's up. The handle under my name is where you can find me everywhere. Yeah.
That Crip, do you want to? You're at CRIPPY87 right now.
Yeah,
right?
currently that's what it is. I'm on Instagram too, but that's mainly his family crap. But that's CRIPPY and CRIPPY.
Crip Minnesota. I'll find there. I always laugh because my Instagram is like, I'm crazy on Instagram, but it's like not sexy at all. It's because my family's on there. So
that's my thing. It's like a lot of my family's on there, so I keep it.
Yeah, Twitter's just great because you can just fucking. I know I've had some people from my real life find it and shit, but like I just like it. It's just so much more fun. And then having a fake name, even though people know my name now, but it's just like that's just been so fun for me over the last 3 shitty fucking years, right? So
it's also, I don't know if you run across this too, because Forest Mommy's not like a normal nickname. Right? People call you Mommy all the time.
Oh yeah.
You have like a segment of people that just refuse to say like I won't call you Mommy. Because there's a lot of people I really like, I'm not calling you Crip. I refuse to call you Crip. Like, all right, well.
Yeah, there's some people who said they feel weird, but I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, you can call me Steve, but
yeah, I like Crip. I like it. I know it's not very what's the word? Politically correct, but all right. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Cal for the super chat, and thanks Paul for the super chat. And I guess that's it. Let's take us out, Paul. Happy Sunday.